Assalamualaikum. We will present our group's findings on currency analysis, factor affecting the Australian dollar's exchange rate. Australia is a unique and resource-rich country in the southern hemisphere. It is surrounded by the Pacific and Indian Oceans. Australia is made up of 6 states and 2 territories. Most people live near the coast. It is one of the world's leading economies, well known for its stable political system, strong export and open trade policies. Our presentation covers the history of Australia's currency, its major imports and export theoretical models, and economic factors influencing its exchange rate. The history of Australian currency reflects its journey from a colonized to an independent economy. Before European settlement, indigenous Australians used trade system with items like shells and tools. After colonization in 1788, there was a shortage of coins, so people used barter and foreign money. In years 1830, Governor Macquarie created special coins called the Holy Dollars and Dump to solve this problem. In years 1910, after Federation Australia introduced its own currency, the Australian pound, then in 1966, the country moved to a decimal system with the Australian dollar, replacing the pound at a rate of $2 to $1. In 1983, Australia floated the dollar, meaning the market now decides its value. The Reserve Bank of Australia manage it today. Australia also introduced polymer banknotes in years 1988, which are now used worldwide. Recently, in 2023, coins changed from Queen Elizabeth II to King Charles III.
I will be present about Australian major import and export. Australian economy is built on export, especially commodities. Its major export include iron ore, the largest export, coal, both terminal and metallurgical, natural gas, LNG, coal, beef and wheat. Top export partner are China, Japan, South Korea, India and the United States. In 2022, total export value reached in $420 billion US. On the import side, Australia relies on crude like refined petroleum, the top import, cars since Australia no longer produce vehicles locally, computer, telecommunications, equipment and medicines. Australia's main import sources are China, US, Japan, South Korea and Germany. In 2022, import worth was about $340 billion US. This shows Australia is both a strong exporter and importer in global trade.
Literature economic theories behind exchange rate changes. Several economic models have explained how exchange rate work. Purchasing power parity (PPP) declare exchange rate adjust so that prices are equal in different countries. Meanwhile, interest rate parity (IRP) indicate differences in interest rate between countries affect exchange rate. IS or LM model and balance of payment model (BP) explain how monetary and fiscal policy affect exchange rate under fixed and floating system. Australia currency is also seen as a commodity currency, meaning the value of AUD often rise and fall based on global prices of goods like coal and iron ore.
The Australian dollar is influenced by 4 main factors. First is foreign direct investment. FDI flow vary over time. In 2005, there was a net outflow, but it increased in 2006. During COVID-19, FDI dropped significantly, then start recovering after 2021. This movement impact investor confidence and affect the AUD value. Second is export of goods and services. Export have remained generally stable, highlighting the importance of trade. There was a notable dip in 2011, but export recovered and peaked again in 2022. Third is the inflation rate. From 2005 to 2019, inflation was steady. It fell in 2020 due to the pandemic, then spiked to 6.5% in 2022 because of high energy prices. By 2024, it stabilized around 3.5%. And finally, GDP growth. Australia saw consistent growth until 2008 financial crisis and again suffered a major decline in 2020. Growth rebound in 2021 but slowed down through 2023 and 2024. Each of these factors play a critical role in shaping the value of the Australian dollar. Next is empirical evidence. Over 20 years of data, we found that export and exchange rate have remained relatively stable while FDI and inflation show more volatility. Regression analysis revealed that only export have statistically significant impact on the exchange rate. Other variables like FDI and GDP growth were not significant. And ANOVA statistics confirm that the overall model is valid.
Next is coefficients. The coefficients show export have a stronger positive effect while other factors like GDP growth and FDI were not statistically significant. The last is correlations. The correlation suggests that a weak Australian dollar help export but may hurt FDI. Inflation and growth are linked, but their effect on the exchange rate are weak.
In conclusion, Australian currency is shaped by many global and local factors. The country has a strong export-based economy and commodity prices, inflation, FDI and GDP growth all influence the value of the AUD. Among all variable studies, export have the strongest and most significant impact on the exchange rate. Australia opens economy, rich natural resources and strong trade ties with Asia, and the US keep a key player in global finance. Understanding this factor help investors, policymakers and analysts make better financial decisions. That's all from us. Thank you for listening until the end.